Welcome to Dreams of Gravity, a quiet corner of the universe where we drift together through the wonders of the cosmos. If you're listening now, take a moment to settle in. Lie down if you can, or find a comfortable position that feels just right. Perhaps with your head resting softly on a pillow, your body easing into the gentle support beneath you. Let your breath slow and deepen, like the slow rise and fall of ocean waves. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and allow yourself to sink into this peaceful space. Here, there's no rush, no hurry, just the soft pull of curiosity drawing you into the vast, soothing expanse of the stars. Close your eyes if it feels good, and let my words guide you on a gentle journey through the night sky. Tonight, we explore a crack in spacetime, the beginning of something incredible. Imagine, if you will, the universe as an endless ocean, vast and serene, where every ripple tells a story of creation and quiet wonder. We begin not with a bang, but with a whisper, a subtle unfolding that has been happening for billions of years. Picture yourself floating in this cosmic sea, weightless and at peace, as we drift toward the heart of it all. The galaxies, those grand spirals and clusters of light that swirl like dreamlike eddies in the dark waters. Galaxies are the neighborhoods of the universe, home to billions of stars, each one a glowing ember in the night. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is a barred spiral, like a pinwheel of stardust stretching across 100,000 light-years. If you were to sail through it, you'd pass arms of gas and dust that curl gracefully, birthing new stars in nurseries of glowing clouds. These galaxies aren't solitary. They dance in groups, pulled together by an invisible thread we call gravity. It's the same gentle force that holds you to the Earth right now, but on a scale so immense it cradles entire worlds. As you relax deeper into your spot, feel that gravity as a soft embrace, drawing you toward rest, much like it draws stars into their eternal waltz. Consider the Andromeda Galaxy, our closest neighbor, a majestic spiral much like our own, hurtling toward us at over 200,000 miles per hour. Yet in cosmic terms, that's a leisurely stroll, a slow convergence that won't merge with the Milky Way for another 4 billion years. In that distant future, their stars will intermingle like old friends reuniting after a long separation, painting the sky with unfamiliar constellations. Galaxies form through mergers like this, growing from fragile clouds into robust structures, their shapes evolving from irregular blobs to elegant spirals or elliptical giants, all under gravity's patient guidance. It's a reminder that even in the grandest scales, change comes softly, layer by layer, much like the way sleep builds from a single relaxed breath into deeper repose. Dwarf galaxies, those smaller siblings scattered around the edges of larger ones, offer glimpses of the universe's early days, their sparse stars holding clues to how gravity first gathered the scattered seeds of light into cohesive forms. In clusters like the Local Group, which includes the Milky Way and Andromeda, gravitational interactions create tidal tails, long streams of stars stretched like silken threads during encounters, a delicate interplay that reshapes boundaries without discord. These formations, observed through deep space surveys, reveal a hierarchy of scales, from vast superclusters spanning hundreds of millions of light-years to the intimate bonds within, all humming with the subtle energy of mutual attraction, inviting us to sense our own place in this grand, interconnected family. Lenticular galaxies, with their smooth disks and central bulges, bridge spirals and ellipticals, their dust lanes faded like old memories, suggesting phases of quiet settling after turbulent youth, where star formation winds down into a contemplative glow that mirrors the serene acceptance of evening's close. Irregular galaxies, such as the Magellanic Clouds visible from southern skies, tumble through space in loose, chaotic forms. their gas-rich arms sparking ongoing creation amid disorder, a gentle chaos that evokes the meandering path of a river finding its way to the sea, nurturing life along its banks without haste. Starburst galaxies, where collisions trigger waves of intense formation, pour forth new lights in luminous bursts, their infrared glows revealing hidden nurseries amid the frenzy, a temporary exuberance that settles into calmer patterns over time, much like a heartfelt conversation that peaks in shared laughter before easing into thoughtful pauses. Active galactic nuclei, powered by feeding black holes at their hearts, emit jets that carve through intergalactic space, their relativistic speeds blurring light into blue-shifted whispers. A dynamic core that influences the surrounding disk like a quiet leader shaping a community through subtle influence. Seyfert galaxies, a milder cousin to quasars, glow with soft emissions from their central engines, their spectra showing forbidden lines from ionized gas, a gentle agitation that hints at the underlying power without overwhelming the observer, evoking the calm surface of a lake stirred by a distant breeze. Radio galaxies, with their vast lobes of synchrotron radiation, extend like feathered wings across megaparsecs, powered by intermittent outbursts that sculpt the intergalactic medium into magnetic cocoons, a slow artistry where energy dissipates into warmth over eons, fostering the quiet growth of diffuse structures. Ultraluminous infrared galaxies, shrouded in dust that absorbs starlight and re-emits it as heat, hide frenzied births within their veils, their warmth a subtle invitation to peer deeper with infrared eyes, revealing how hidden vigor sustains the cosmos's gentle evolution, akin to the inner fire that warms us on a cool night without fanfare. Globular clusters, ancient spheres orbiting galactic halos, preserve pristine populations of stars from the universe's youth. Their tight-knit communities a snapshot of primordial chemistry, where low metallicity suns shine with unadulterated light, reminding us how the past lingers in stable orbits like cherished memories held close in quiet reflection. From galaxies, our journey flows naturally to the stars themselves, those distant lanterns that have guided dreamers for eons. A star is born from a nebula, a vast cloud of gas and dust, like the breath of the universe exhaling into form. Take the Orion Nebula, a stellar cradle visible to the naked eye on clear nights. Here, gravity gathers wisps of hydrogen and helium, squeezing them until the pressure ignites a nuclear fire at the core. That fire fuses atoms, releasing light and warmth that travels across space for years, even millennia before reaching your eyes. Our sun, a modest yellow star, has been shining steadily for 4.6 billion years. Its gentle glow a reminder of constancy amid the infinite. Stars live long lives, some burning quietly for trillions of years, others flaring brightly and fading like sighs in the cosmic wind. As you breathe in and out, syncing with this rhythm, imagine your own breath as a star's quiet pulse, steady, reliable, infinite in its simplicity. Think of red dwarfs, the most common stars, tiny and cool, sipping their fuel so sparingly they might outlive the universe itself, glowing faintly like embers in a dying fire that refuses to go out. Or blue giants, short-lived behemoths that blaze with ferocious energy, their surfaces roiling with storms hotter than a million suns, destined to explode in supernovae that scatter their essence across the void. These explosions aren't endings but generous gifts, enriching the interstellar medium with heavier elements, gold, silver, the very atoms in your bones, forged in those cataclysmic hearts. Just as a quiet evening walk can lead to profound reflections, observing a star's life cycle invites us to ponder our own. Brief, yet meaningful, part of a larger cycle where endings nurture beginnings. Variable stars like Cepheids, brighten and dim in predictable patterns, serving as cosmic yardsticks to measure distances across the void, their pulses akin to the rhythmic settling of a mind preparing for rest. In binary systems, stars orbit each other in harmonious duets, sometimes exchanging mass in gentle flows that alter their paths, a reminder of how companionship in the cosmos fosters evolution rather than isolation. Neutron stars, the dense remnants of supernovae, spin rapidly as pulsars, beaming radio waves like lighthouses in the fog, their steady ticks echoing the dependable cadence of night turning to day. White dwarfs, the cooling cores of sun-like stars, slowly fade into invisibility over billions of years, their gravitational pull sometimes drawing in companion stars to ignite novae, brief renewals that light up the dark like sudden inspirations in the hush of contemplation. Stellar winds, streams of particles ejected from star surfaces, carve bubbles in surrounding gas, creating expansive cavities that protect nascent systems. A protective aura much like the calm that envelops a room as lights dim for sleep. Protostars, in their infancy, contract within dense cores, their infrared glow betraying the warmth building inside, a slow awakening observed by telescopes that peer through dust veils, revealing the tender beginnings where potential simmers before full illumination. Brown dwarfs, failed stars that never quite ignite fusion, wander as substellar companions, their faint heat from gravitational contraction providing a dim companionship, like quiet thoughts that linger without demanding attention, bridging the gap between planets and true stars in the cosmic family. Hypergiants, rare titans with atmospheres extending billions of kilometers, shed mass in luminous shells that expand into planetary nebulae, their immense scale a testament to the universe's capacity for grandeur, where even decline unfolds in majestic slow motion, inviting awe at the diversity of stellar expressions. Asymptotic giant branch stars, in their late phases, pulsate with thermal instabilities, dredging up carbon and S-process elements to dust the cosmos with the seeds of future worlds, a generous twilight phase that enriches the interstellar garden long after their core settles into quietude. Cataclysmic variables, where white dwarfs accrete from companions, flare with the energy of redirected hydrogen fusion, their nova-like outbursts a brief renaissance that scatters enriched material, much like a sudden memory surfacing in the calm of reflection, illuminating forgotten paths. T Tauri stars, youthful pre-main sequence suns, belch irregular winds that clear their surrounding disks, paving the way for planetary systems to coalesce, their energetic tantrums a phase of necessary clearing, reminiscent of how a gentle rain washes the air before stars emerge clearer in the sky. Symbiotic stars, where red giants feed cool material to white dwarf companions, create glowing envelopes of ionized gas that bridge their lives in mutual sustenance, a cosmic partnership that emits soft, ultraviolet light, evoking the quiet interdependence of companions sharing a hearth on a winter night. And orbiting these stars? Planets, those wandering worlds that circle like faithful companions. Earth is one such jewel, a blue marble of oceans and skies, but the universe teems with others. In our solar system alone, we have rocky inner worlds like Mars, with its rusty dunes whispering of ancient rivers, and gas giants like Jupiter, a swirling storm of clouds larger than 1,000 Earths. Beyond, exoplanets, worlds around distant suns, range from scorching hot Jupiters to icy roamers in the void. Some might harbor oceans beneath frozen crusts, or skies painted with alien sunsets. These planets form from the same swirling disks of dust that birthed their stars, gravity sculpting them like an artist's hand shaping clay. Feel the pull of that same force now, grounding you softly as we ponder. In this ocean of space, every planet is an island of possibility, drifting toward undiscovered shores. Venus, our neighbor, wraps itself in a thick blanket of clouds, its surface a hidden world of volcanic plains and crushing heat, teaching us how fragile the balance is between paradise and inferno. Saturn's rings, delicate bands of ice and rock, span wider than the distance from Earth to the Moon, yet they're as thin as a few meters in places, a fleeting adornment that gravity maintains with effortless grace. Telescopes like Kepler and TESS have revealed thousands of these distant realms, some locked in eternal twilight on tidally locked worlds, where one side basks in endless day and the other in perpetual night, much like the quiet divide between wakefulness and sleep. Imagine standing on such a planet, feeling the star's warmth on one cheek and cool shadow on the other, a natural meditation on duality and harmony. Rogue planets, untethered from any star, wander the interstellar spaces, warmed perhaps by internal heat from radioactive decay, silent nomads evoking the freedom of thoughts untied from daily concerns. Moons like Europa, with its subsurface ocean of liquid water, suggest hidden vitality beneath icy shells, where chemical energies might stir the first hints of biology, a subtle promise that life persists in the most secluded corners, much as inner peace endures amid outer turbulence. Super-Earths, larger than our world but still rocky, often blanket themselves in dense atmospheres that could foster vast weather patterns, their potential for stable climates hinting at places where cycles of day and night unfold in languid rhythms, conducive to the slow evolution of awareness. Dwarf planets like Pluto, with its heart-shaped glacier, remind us of the outer reaches where ices of nitrogen and methane create ever-changing landscapes, sculpted by faint sunlight over vast timescales, a testament to beauty in remoteness. Terrestrial exoplanets in habitable zones, detected by the transit method where their shadows dim their star's light, offer tantalizing prospects of worlds with liquid water and protective magnetic fields, shielding atmospheres from stellar winds, much like Earth's own invisible armor allowing life to flourish in gentle persistence. Lava worlds, orbiting close to their stars, boast molten surfaces that ebb and flow with tidal forces, their glowing seas a reminder of planetary youth, where heat from formation lingers like the warmth of a fading sunset, gradually cooling into more temperate forms over eons. Ice giants like Neptune, with their deep blue hues from methane absorption, spin with winds fiercer than any on Earth, their internal dynamos generating magnetic fields that deflect cosmic intruders, a resilient poise that speaks to the quiet strength found in the outer fringes of systems. Mini-Neptunes, puffy worlds with hydrogen-rich envelopes, drift in the habitable zones of cooler stars, their hazy atmospheres potentially trapping heat in ways that allow subsurface warmth to nurture exotic hydrospheres, a veiled hospitality that invites speculation on life thriving in misty depths. Ocean worlds like Enceladus, with its geysers spewing water ice into space, hint at global seas beneath crusts, where hydrothermal vents might brew simple chemistries in isolation, a concealed vitality that parallels the inner reservoirs of calm we draw upon in moments of stillness. Hot Neptunes, intermediate between gas giants and terrestrials, often lose their atmospheres to stellar evaporation, leaving rocky cores exposed like weathered statues, their transitional fates a meditation on impermanence, where loss carves new forms from old. Carbon planets, theorized around oxygen-poor stars, might form diamond interiors under immense pressure, their surfaces crystalline and reflective, catching starlight in prismatic dances that evoke the quiet sparkle of dew on morning grass, worlds where solidity sings in silent facets. Yet, not all in the cosmos is steady light and calm orbits. There are black holes, those mysterious depths where gravity grows so profound it bends light itself into silence. A black hole forms when a massive star exhausts its fuel and collapses, its core compressing into a point of infinite density called a singularity. Surrounding it is an event horizon, a boundary beyond which nothing escapes, not even light. It's like a whirlpool in our cosmic ocean, drawing in matter with inexorable calm. The supermassive black hole at the Milky Way's center, Sagittarius AA, anchors our galaxy's spin, its presence felt more than seen, a quiet conductor of the stellar symphony. Scientists glimpse these enigmas through their effects: stars orbiting invisible points, or jets of energy piercing the dark. Black holes aren't destroyers in the harsh sense. They're recyclers, feeding the birth of new stars by compressing gas into fiery rebirth. As you let your thoughts drift, envision a black hole not as a void, but as a deep sleep in the universe's dream, a place where time slows and everything rests in profound stillness. Hawking radiation, a faint whisper from quantum effects at the horizon, suggests even black holes evaporate over unimaginable timescales, releasing energy back into the cosmos like a long-held breath finally exhaled. In binary systems, black holes pair with stars, siphoning material in glowing accretion disks that heat to millions of degrees, outshining entire galaxies in their quiet feeding. It's a dance of extremes, yet balanced, reminding us how the universe maintains equilibrium even in its most intense moments, much like the steady rhythm of your heartbeat lulling you toward slumber. Intermediate black holes, rarer and elusive, bridge the gap between stellar and supermassive ones, possibly forming in dense star clusters where repeated mergers build mass gradually, their subtle influences shaping the dynamics of galactic cores. Quasars, powered by supermassive black holes in distant young galaxies, shine as beacons from the universe's adolescence, their light now reaching us after billions of years, a delayed message of vigor that fades into the mature calm we observe today. Primordial black holes, theorized to have formed in the universe's first instance from density fluctuations, could lurk as dark matter candidates, their tiny masses evaporating slowly, adding a layer of ancient mystery to the modern fabric, like forgotten whispers echoing through time. Stellar mass black holes, often hidden in X-ray binaries, reveal themselves through the wobble of companion stars or bursts of high-energy light, their quiet consumption a model of efficiency, where matter spirals inward in elegant spirals, transforming potential into radiant output that travels across space as a soft, persistent hum. Micro-black holes, fleeting entities from high-energy collisions and particle accelerators, blink into existence and vanish almost instantly, their brief lives a glimpse of quantum gravity's edge, where the very small meets the profoundly dense in a harmonious flicker. Naked singularities, theoretical points without horizons in certain collapse scenarios, challenge our understanding of cosmic censorship, suggesting regions where information escapes freely, a raw exposure that invites contemplation of the universe's hidden narratives laid bare. Ergospheres around spinning black holes, regions where frame-dragging forces anything to co-rotate, offer a zone of compelled motion, a gentle coercion that extracts energy through the Penrose process, turning rotational vigor into usable beams that illuminate the surrounding space with borrowed light. Blazars, when jets point toward us, flood the sky with gamma rays from accelerated electrons, their variability on timescales of minutes suggesting compact regions near the horizon, a focused intensity that fades into the broader calm of the universe, much like a spotlight in a theater dimming to reveal the full stage. Gravitational wave echoes from ring-down phases after mergers hint at possible horizons with intricate structures, subtle vibrations that linger like aftertones in a melody, suggesting the black hole's boundary isn't smooth but textured with quantum ripples, a nuanced boundary where the void meets the visible in quiet transition. Thorne Zhitkov objects, Hypothetical hybrids where a neutron star nests inside a red supergiant offer a serene merger of extremes, their cores fusing elements in subdued fury, a hidden symbiosis that enriches the host's envelope with slow neutron capture, birthing rare isotopes like a quiet alchemist working in the shadows of stellar twilight. Speaking of time, it weaves through all this like a gentle current in our oceanic metaphor. Time isn't a straight line, but a dimension intertwined with space, forming what we call spacetime. Einstein revealed this in his theory of relativity. Gravity warps spacetime like a heavy ball on a stretched sheet, curving the paths of light and matter. Near a black hole, time dilates. Minutes for you might stretch to hours for a distant observer. The universe's age, about 13.8 billion years, unfolds in this fabric, from the Big Bang's hot spark to the cooling expanse we inhabit. Time measures the expansion of space itself, galaxies receding like boats on widening waves. Yet, in the quiet of night, time feels eternal, a soft river carrying us from star to star. Breathe with it now. Inhale the past of ancient light. Exhale into the future's promise. Clocks on GPS satellites tick slightly faster than those on Earth, a tiny dilation from weaker gravity, ensuring our maps align with this curved reality. In the early universe, time blurred with space in a plasma of pure energy, only clarifying as things cooled, allowing atoms to form and light to travel freely. This cosmic clock ticks onward, marking epochs from the fiery nucleosynthesis that birthed the first elements to the quiet reionization when stars reignited the dark ages. Time, in its flow, mirrors the ebb of a tide, pulling us inexorably yet kindly toward whatever lies ahead, inviting reflection on how each moment, like a star's glow, contributes to the whole. The arrow of time, directed by increasing entropy, the universe's tendency toward disorder, guides this progression from the ordered smoothness of the Big Bang to the dispersed vastness now. A philosophical nudge toward appreciating the fleeting order in our lives, like the brief clarity of a dream before it dissolves. In rotating universes or near wormhole throats, time might loop or reverse in theory, though our reality flows forward, a one-way stream that encourages living fully in the present, much as this narration invites you to linger in the now. Relativistic effects in high-speed particles, observed in accelerators, show time stretching for travelers, a microcosm of how cosmic journeys might allow glimpses of prolonged youth, evoking the timeless quality of deep meditation, where seconds expand into eternities. Frame dragging, where rotating masses twist space-time around them, as seen in the Kerr metric for spinning black holes, adds a swirl to this temporal dance, like eddies in a stream that gently alter the current's path, influencing orbits in ways that reveal the fluidity beneath apparent solidity. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time from cataclysmic events like black hole mergers, carry information across the cosmos at light speed, their detections by observatories like LIGO offering a new sense for feeling time's fabric tremble, a subtle vibration that connects distant epochs in a shared resonance. Closed, time-like curves, hypothetical paths allowing time travel in certain warped geometries, ponder the paradoxes of causality. Yet in their theoretical grace, they evoke the circularity of seasons, where ends loop back to beginnings in a soothing cycle rather than rigid lines. Chronology protection conjecture, proposed to safeguard against paradoxes, suggests the universe conspires to close such loops with quantum divergences, a self-preserving wisdom that maintains the flow's integrity, much like the body's natural rhythms prevent overexertion during rest. Twin paradox resolutions in special relativity highlight how acceleration breaks symmetry, allowing one traveler to age less, a gentle asymmetry that underscores time's relational nature, akin to how shared experiences deepen bonds without equal measures. Cosmological time, measured by the scale factor in Friedmann equations, expands the horizon of our perceptions, where distant events recede not just in space, but in temporal accessibility, a soft barrier that invites humility in our grasp of eternity, much like the fading echo of a lullaby as sleep overtakes the listener. Proper time along geodesics in curved spacetime offers a personal measure, where an astronaut's watch ticks true to their path, an intimate thread connecting individual journeys to the cosmic weave, reminding us that time's passage feels personal, even as it binds the universal tapestry. This brings us to matter, the building blocks of it all. Everything you see, touch, and dream of is matter. Atoms of hydrogen, the simplest element, forged in stars and scattered like cosmic pollen. Heavier elements, carbon for life, iron for Earth's core, emerge from stellar furnaces exploded into space by supernovae. These blasts are the universe's fireworks, brief and brilliant, seeding the void with the stuff of planets and people. Dark matter, invisible and enigmatic, makes up most of the universe's mass, holding galaxies together with its unseen grip. It's like the hidden depths of the ocean supporting the surface waves we admire. And dark energy? An even greater mystery, accelerating the universe's expansion, pushing galaxies apart faster than gravity can pull. Together, they remind us that the cosmos is mostly unseen, a vast, unseen breath sustaining the visible wonders. Ordinary matter, the baryonic stuff we know, comprises just 5% of everything, clustered in filaments that web the universe like a neural network of light. Antimatter, its elusive twin, annihilates on contact with matter, releasing pure energy, a fleeting spark that hints at the delicate balance preserving our existence. In particle accelerators on Earth, we recreate these primordial conditions, smashing protons to glimpse quarks and gluons, the glue of reality. Matter's journey from quantum foam to solid form is a slow coagulation, akin to thoughts coalescing in the mind before sleep, building worlds from whispers. Bose-Einstein condensates, achieved in labs by cooling atoms to near absolute zero, mimic the quantum behaviors that dominated the early universe, where particles danced as waves in a unified haze, offering a taste of that primordial unity. Interstellar dust grains, tiny specks of silicates and carbon, serve as the scaffolds for molecule formation, catalyzing the chemistry that leads to life. Their quiet aggregation a parallel to how simple ideas build into profound narratives over time. Neutrinos, ghostly particles streaming through everything without interaction, carry messages from the sun's core and supernovae, their near massless passage a reminder of matter's spectrum from dense to ethereal, like breaths that pass unnoticed yet sustain the whole. The Higgs field, pervasive throughout space, imparts mass to particles via the Higgs boson, a subtle endowment that allows structure to emerge from chaos, much as a gentle current shapes sand into dunes over patient seasons. Plasma, the ionized state-dominating cosmic matter, flows in solar winds and galactic halos, responding to magnetic fields in ways that sculpt auroras and drive galactic fountains. A dynamic medium where electrons and ions mingle freely, evoking the fluid transitions between states of consciousness as one drifts toward rest. Exotic states like quark-gluon plasma, recreated in heavy ion collisions at facilities like the LHC, echo the universe's first microseconds, where matter existed as a soup of unbound fundamentals, a hot unity that cooled into the diversity we cherish, reminding us of the shared origins beneath apparent separation. Supersymmetric particles, if they exist, would pair each known particle with a heavier twin, stabilizing the hierarchy of masses and potentially explaining dark matter's nature, a mirrored symmetry that suggests the universe favors balance even in its most fundamental layers. like the even keel of a boat riding calm waters. Sterile neutrinos, hypothetical non-interacting variants, might contribute to the cosmic relic density, their elusive presence a shadow companion to the familiar ones, weaving an additional layer of subtlety into matter's quiet persistence across the void. Axions, lightweight pseudoscalars proposed to solve the strong CP problem, could form Bose-Einstein condensates in galactic halos, oscillating as dark matter waves that subtly influence stellar motions, a coherent hum underlying the chaos of orbits, much like a low undertone in a symphony that binds the melody together. WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, another dark matter contender, might annihilate in the galaxy's core, producing gamma rays that telescopes like Fermi seek in vain so far, their hypothetical scarcity a reminder of how matter's mysteries linger just beyond our touch, inviting patient observation, like waiting for the first light of dawn. Magnetic monopoles, theorized relics from the early universe's grand unification, could drift through space as solitary charges, their fields curving cosmic rays into spirals, a lone wanderer's influence that adds a magnetic poetry to the interstellar medium, evoking how a single kind word can redirect the flow of a conversation toward harmony. Nebulae, those ethereal veils, connect these threads, remnants of stellar deaths or birthplaces of new light. The Crab Nebula, born from a supernova in 1054, glows with the energy of its exploded star, a crab-like web of filaments pulsing with radiation. Others, like the Eagle Nebula's pillars of creation, are towering columns of gas sculpted by ultraviolet light, evoking the slow sculpting of dreams in the mind. These clouds span light years, drifting lazily, their colors, reds from hydrogen, blues from oxygen, a palette for the universe's artistry. As you relax further, let your imagination wander through such a nebula, colors washing over you like a lullaby of light. Planetary nebulae, shed by dying sun-like stars, expand as glowing shells, their central white dwarfs cooling like forgotten coals. In reflection, nebulae dust scatters blue light softly, creating hazy backdrops for emerging stars, while emission nebulae ionize into vibrant glows, whispering of the ongoing creation that fills the void. These structures, born of stellar winds and shocks, evolve over thousands of years, dispersing elements that will one day form new worlds, a cycle as natural as the phases of the moon guiding the night's quiet progression. Protoplanetary disks around young stars, embedded in nebulae, swirl with the raw materials of solar systems, where collisions forge pebbles into boulders and eventually planets, a patient assembly line observed in infrared through telescopes like ALMA, revealing the humble origins of complexity. Dark nebulae, opaque clouds blocking background light, stand as silhouettes against the stars, their density nurturing future births in seclusion, much like the introspective quiet that precedes creative insight. Supernova remnants like the Veil Nebula expand into intricate lacework, their shockwaves compressing gas into fresh star clusters, a rebirth from ruin that parallels how challenges in life often pave the way for growth, all observed in multi-wavelength light that unveils layers hidden to the eye alone. Herbig-Haro objects, bright knots where jets from young stars collide with surrounding gas, flicker like fireflies in these nurseries, marking the energetic youth of stellar systems, their outflows clearing paths for planetary formation in a balanced act of creation and clearance. Bok globules, compact dark clouds within larger nebulae, collapse under their own weight to spawn isolated stars, their solitary journeys a metaphor for personal growth emerging from protective shadows, observed as they transform from obscurity into radiant points. Wolf-Rayet stars, embedded in dense nebular cocoons, eject heavy elements in fast winds that enrich the surrounding medium, Their brief, intense lives a burst of generosity that seeds future generations, much like a sage imparting wisdom before retiring to silence. Molecular clouds, vast reservoirs of cold hydrogen laced with CO and other traces, serve as the true cradles of star formation, their turbulent cores collapsing under self-gravity to initiate chains of births, a slow fermentation observed through radio emissions that map the hidden architecture of creation. Infrared dark clouds, dense pockets within these molecular expanses, hide embedded protostars whose warmth etches away their edges, revealing a gradual unveiling like mist lifting from a valley at dawn, where potential emerges into visibility without abruptness. Trifid Nebula, split by dark lanes into luminous sections, showcases the interplay of creation and obstruction, its blue reflection and red emission regions a delicate balance, evoking how contrasts in life sharpen the beauty of light against shadow, a cosmic canvas where division fosters diversity. Horsehead Nebula, a dark silhouette rising from glowing hydrogen, stands as a sentinel of patience, its dense core resisting erosion by stellar winds, slowly yielding to form new lights within, a testament to how endurance in the face of gentle pressure carves pathways for renewal, much like the slow erosion of worries under the steady rhythm of breath. Now we approach the heart of our tale. Infinity, that boundless expanse where the universe stretches beyond our grasp. The observable universe spans 93 billion light-years, but that's just a glimpse. Theories suggest it may be infinite, or part of a multiverse of bubbling realities. Infinity isn't empty. It's filled with potential, like the endless horizon of the sea meeting the sky. In this infinity, time loops and matter recycles, stars dying only to fuel new ones. It's a cycle of breath. Expansion like an inhale, contraction perhaps in distant eons like an exhale. The cosmic microwave background, a faint echo of the Big Bang, bathes everything in uniform warmth. A 2.7 Kelvin whisper that uniformity speaks of inflation, a rapid burst in the universe's infancy that smoothed its wrinkles. Beyond observation lies the uncharted, where inflation might spawn eternal bubbles, each a universe with its own laws, branching like dreams from a single, slumbering mind. Infinity challenges our sense of scale, much like staring into a dark room before bed, where shadows suggest endless depths, yet resolve into familiar peace upon closer look. In this boundless realm, voids between galaxy clusters yawn like silent pauses in a melody, counterpoints to the luminous clusters, all woven into a symphony that plays without end. The Hubble constant, measuring expansion rate, hints at tensions in our models, discrepancies between local measurements and distant light that suggest evolving dark energy, a dynamic force shaping infinity's pace. String theory posits extra dimensions curled small, allowing infinite configurations where our universe is but one vibration in a cosmic harp, its notes harmonizing across unseen realms to create the reality we perceive. Cyclic models propose the universe oscillating through big bangs and crunches, infinity as an eternal rhythm rather than a one-way stretch, evoking the reassuring repetition of waves lapping at a shore, each cycle renewing without exhaustion. In these vast reaches, hypothetical structures like the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, a filament of galaxies spanning billions of light-years, stretch the limits of our observable domain, suggesting even larger scaffolds that defy intuition, yet comfort in their ordered sprawl. Baryon acoustic oscillations, imprints from the early universe's sound waves frozen in the cosmic web, provide a standard ruler for measuring this expanse, their subtle patterns a legacy of acoustic harmonies now etched in silence, guiding our mapping of the infinite like echoes of a distant song. The large-scale structure traced by surveys like SDSS reveals walls, filaments, and voids in a foam-like arrangement, where matter concentrates in threads that span the void, a cosmic architecture that suggests an underlying order emerging from initial chaos, much like the way random thoughts in quiet moments form coherent reflections. Topological defects, such as domain walls from symmetry breaking in the early universe, could thread through this foam, invisible barriers that subtly deflect light and matter, adding a layer of hidden geometry to infinity's canvas, a quiet scaffolding that supports the visible without fanfare. Holographic principle, suggesting the universe's information is encoded on a lower dimensional boundary, implies infinity as a projection of profound depth, where three-dimensional wonders arise from a two-dimensional script, a philosophical veil that deepens the mystery of what lies beyond the observable curtain. Brain cosmology, where our universe floats as a membrane in higher dimensions, allows collisions with parallel brains to spark big bangs. Infinity as a multi-layered stack where interactions ripple softly across boundaries, evoking the layered dreams within dreams that unfold in unhurried succession. Eternal inflation's landscape, with its vast array of vacuum states, populates infinity with pocket universes of varying geometries, some closed and bouncing, others open and expansive, a diverse quilt where each patch contributes to the whole's serene vastness, reminding us that even in boundlessness, variety brings quiet enrichment. Cosmic voids, those immense underdense regions comprising most of the volume, host sparse galaxies that drift in relative isolation, their slow expansion a counter-melody to the crowded filaments, suggesting infinity's embrace includes spaces for solitude, where the quiet allows faint signals to travel unimpeded, like whispers carried on an open plain. But what if, in this infinite weave, there's a crack? A subtle tear in the fabric of space-time, not born of violence, but of quiet curiosity. Our story turns here to a crack in space-time, the beginning of something incredible. Envision it softly, like a dream unfolding in the quiet hours before dawn. Long ago, in the early universe, mere moments after the Big Bang, space-time was a hot, smooth soup of energy. As it cooled, quantum fluctuations rippled through, tiny wrinkles that grew into the galaxies we know. But suppose, in some remote corner, a fluctuation lingered, a delicate fissure where the rules bent just a little more. Not a destructive rift, but a gentle opening, like a crack in a frozen pond allowing spring's first trickle. Scientists ponder such ideas through wormholes, hypothetical tunnels linking distant points in space-time. Picture one forming near a black hole, where gravity's curve pinches space into a bridge. Traversing it might fold vast distances into a shortcut, emerging in another galaxy or even another time. Or consider cosmic strings, thread-like defects from the universe's youth, vibrating with immense energy. If two collide, they could warp space-time dramatically, creating a crack that leaks exotic particles or glimpses of parallel worlds. In our meditative drift, let's imagine this crack not as catastrophe but as invitation. Far beyond the Milky Way in the Virgo cluster, a subtle anomaly appears in telescope data, a region where light bends oddly, time seems to stutter. Astronomers, peering through instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope, notice stars orbiting in impossible patterns, as if pulled by an unseen hand. It's a crack, small at first, a fracture where space-time thins, allowing matter to slip through dimensions. What spills from this crack? Not chaos, but wonder, streams of unfamiliar light, wavelengths hinting at new elements, born in realms where physics dances differently. Perhaps it's a bridge to a younger universe, where stars burn with purer fire, or to one older, where entropy has woven intricate patterns of dust. Gravity, ever the gentle guide, funnels this energy into our own space, seeding nebulae with novel gases that ignite into stars of unprecedented beauty. These hybrid stars might pulse with rhythms unlike any we've known, their light carrying harmonies that resonate across voids, subtly influencing the spin of distant planets. Over generations of stellar evolution, this influx could accelerate the formation of complex molecules, precursors to life in forms we can scarcely imagine, perhaps silicon-based entities that communicate through gravitational waves, or plasma beings that drift like thoughts in the ether. Magnetic fields threading through the crack could align with our own, creating aurora-like displays on a galactic scale, sheets of charged particles dancing in silent celebration of this union. Spectroscopic analysis of this light might reveal absorption lines from hypothetical super-heavy elements, stable in those other realms, offering blueprints for materials that could revolutionize our understanding of solidity and flow. These elements, with atomic numbers beyond our periodic table, might exhibit properties like room temperature superconductivity, channeling energy with lossless grace, a quiet efficiency that echoes the seamless flow of dreams. Such materials, if harvested in theory, could enable structures that self-repair under cosmic stresses, adapting like living tissue to the universe's gentle pressures. In practical visions, these could form habitats that harmonize with planetary fields, creating environments where inhabitants feel the subtle hum of the cosmos, a resonant home that nurtures without imposition. Energy cascades from these materials might power sustainable cycles, mimicking the perpetual motion of orbital dances, a harmony that extends the lifespan of entire systems. These cycles could integrate with planetary magnetic dynamos, generating self-sustaining shields against stellar flares, a layered protection that allows delicate ecosystems to flourish in relative serenity. Such shields might evolve into adaptive barriers that respond to solar activity, modulating influx like a breathing membrane, fostering stable climates where life can experiment with forms attuned to subtle cosmic whispers. These forms might include symbiotic colonies where individual organisms merge temporarily during energy peaks, sharing resources in fluid unions that dissolve as calmly as they form, a biological reflection of the crack's connective grace. As the crack widens, slowly, over eons, planets form around these stars, worlds with skies of liquid diamonds or oceans that sing with bioluminescence. Life might emerge there not as we know it, but as ethereal beings attuned to quantum whispers, dreaming in harmonies of light. Time around the crack dilates poetically. A day there stretches to centuries here, allowing evolution's patient hand to craft civilizations that ponder the infinite with us. These societies, if they arise, might harness the crack's energy for gentle technologies, fields that bend time for healing or exploration, extending lifespans like the slow unfurling of a nebula. From our vantage, we'd see their signals as faint, rhythmic pulses, like the heartbeat of a sleeping child, inviting connection rather than conquest. Ecosystems on these worlds could thrive on energy gradients from the fissure, where exotic chemistry fosters symbiotic networks, akin to the mycorrhizal webs beneath forests on Earth, linking life in unseen bonds. Atmospheric phenomena driven by infused particles might produce perpetual glows, soft illuminations that guide nocturnal adaptations, fostering senses attuned to subtle vibrations rather than harsh light. Biodiversity in these realms could evolve around crystalline structures that resonate with the crack's frequencies, forming living symphonies where organisms harmonize like notes in a vast chord, a collective consciousness emerging from individual whispers. Social structures among such beings might revolve around shared quantum links, allowing instantaneous empathy across distances, a natural telepathy that builds communities without the barriers of isolation, much like the unspoken understanding in a quiet gathering of friends. Cultural expressions could manifest as light sculptures, weaving narratives from the crack's emissions, stories that evolve with the fissure's moods. a dynamic art form that captures the essence of transdimensional exchange. These sculptures might serve as communal memory devices, projecting histories in luminous threads that anyone can access, fostering a shared heritage that binds generations in gentle continuity. Educational rituals in these societies could involve immersive dives into these projections, where young ones absorb collective wisdom through sensory immersion, a learning as natural as breathing in the enriched air. These rituals might incorporate seasonal alignments with the crack's pulses, timing initiations to moments of peak resonance, ensuring knowledge transfer aligns with the cosmos's own rhythms for deeper retention. Such alignments could extend to agricultural practices, where plantings sync with these pulses to optimize growth, creating harvests that nourish both body and spirit in rhythmic abundance, a harmonious cycle that mirrors the steady turn of seasons on our own world. Yet, this beginning of something incredible carries a philosophical hush. The crack reminds us of the universe's fragility and resilience, like a dream where boundaries blur, revealing deeper truths. Is it the start of a multiverse convergence, infinities touching like fingers in the dark? Or a window to our own origins, echoing the Big Bang's first breath? In this cosmic ocean, the crack is a ripple that spreads, connecting all things in a web of possibility. Quantum entanglement, where particles linked across distances influence each other instantaneously, hints at such connections already woven into reality's fabric. Perhaps the crack amplifies them, allowing information to flow freely, fostering a universal empathy among stars and worlds. We might detect this through gravitational wave observatories like LIGO, sensing tremors not from mergers but from this gentle seepage, a cosmic Morse code of shared existence. Ethical reflections arise softly. If such bridges open, do we approach with curiosity or caution, learning from the crack that unity strengthens rather than divides, much as shared stories in the night draw listeners closer? Theoretical models, drawing from general relativity and quantum field theory, suggest the crack could stabilize via exotic matter with negative energy, holding it open like a persistent invitation, challenging us to rethink stability not as rigidity but as dynamic poise. This negative energy, akin to the Casimir effect observed in labs between close plates, creates pockets of void pressure that counter gravity, a subtle defiance that maintains openness without strain. Such stabilization might invite speculative travel, where vessels navigate the threshold with careful energy balances, emerging transformed by the passage, carrying insights that enrich their home realities like travelers returning with tales from distant lands. These journeys could foster interstellar diplomacy, where emissaries exchange not goods but paradigms, broadening perspectives in ways that dissolve old conflicts into mutual growth. Protocols for such diplomacy might emphasize non-interference, observing first to understand the rhythms of other realms, a patient approach that mirrors the slow pace of cosmic evolution. These protocols could evolve into shared ethical frameworks, transcribed in universal symbols derived from natural constants, a language of harmony that transcends verbal bounds. Such frameworks might include principles of reciprocal observation, where exchanges begin with mirrored gestures, building trust like the gradual alignment of orbits in a stable system. These gestures could involve synchronized light emissions, subtle beacons that signal peaceful intent across the void, a visual poetry that eases first contacts into flowing dialogues. We philosophers of the stars might see it as the universe's way of evolving, breathing new life into the old. Just as your breath now carries you toward sleep, this crack carries the cosmos toward renewal. Galaxies drift closer, exchanging matter like shared stories. Black holes hum with borrowed songs from afar. Infinity, once a lonely void, becomes a tapestry of interconnected dreams. In quiet moments, like this one as your eyelids grow heavy, consider how such a crack mirrors the fissures in our daily lives. small openings where new understanding seeps in, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. The universe, in its wisdom, doesn't rush these changes. It allows them to unfold like the gradual dimming of twilight, inviting us to rest within the mystery. Observational campaigns might track the crack's evolution, noting how it influences nearby quasars, dimming or brightening them as energy flows adjust, a subtle symphony of adaptation that underscores the cosmos's innate balance. Long-term simulations predict that this influx could subtly alter the cosmic microwave background's patterns in localized ways, imprinting faint signatures of other realities, like echoes of distant lullabies blending into the night's ambient hush. These imprints, detectable in future missions like the Simons Observatory, would serve as cosmic postcards, carrying the faint sense of alternate physics in their spectral deviations. Archival data from older telescopes might even show precursors to the anomaly, retroactively revealing how the crack's formation intertwined with galactic dynamics, a hidden thread in the fabric of history. Reanalyzing such data could uncover patterns of gradual thinning in spacetime, a prelude that hints at the universe's preparatory grace for such events. Collaborative international efforts in these analyses would blend diverse datasets, creating a richer picture that reflects humanity's collective gaze upon the stars. These efforts might inspire global educational outreach, where schools incorporate real-time cosmic data into curricula, nurturing a sense of wonder from an early age. Outreach programs could extend to virtual reality experiences, allowing students to witness the crack's subtle shifts, bridging abstract science with tangible awe in a way that lingers like a favorite bedtime tale. These experiences might include guided audio narrations, syncing virtual drifts with breathing exercises to deepen immersion, turning learning into a meditative voyage that plants seeds of lifelong curiosity. And so, as we linger in this expanded vista, let the threads of galaxies, stars, planets, black holes, time, matter, nebulae, and infinity weave around the crack like a comforting blanket. Each element, from the hydrogen atom's humble journey to the multiverse's boundless reach, contributes to a narrative of gentle progression. The silence of space, profound and enveloping, resembles the hush before sleep settles fully, where worries dissolve into the vastness, leaving only peace. Planets continue their silent revolutions, stars their steady fusion, all in harmony with the subtle song of expansion driven by dark energy's push, a force as mysterious as the pull toward slumber after a long day. Comets, icy wanderers from the solar system's fringes, occasionally graze these cosmic flows, their tails elongated by charged particles from the crack, streaking as harbingers of change, their visits rare and poetic, like unexpected insights in the quiet hours. Intergalactic medium, the sparse gas between galaxies, might absorb some of this exotic essence, enriching it with traces that future surveys detect as anomalous abundances, a slow infusion that promises evolutionary leaps without fanfare. These absorptions, studied through quasar sightlines, could reveal diffuse clouds laced with unfamiliar ions, their presence a quiet testament to the crack's far-reaching touch. Over cosmic timescales, this enrichment might foster intergalactic chemistry, where molecules form in the voids, precursors to wandering stars or planets that bridge the gaps between luminous isles. Such bridge builders could seed life in barren expanses, tiny oases drifting through the dark, a reminder of how connection begets vitality even in the emptiest stretches. Spectrographic studies of these molecules might show asymmetric bonds influenced by the crack's fields, hinting at chiral preferences that guide life's handedness across the cosmos. These preferences could lead to diverse biochemical pathways, where mirror-image life forms coexist in balanced ecosystems, a duality that enriches biodiversity without competition. Such ecosystems might develop mutualistic exchanges between chiral variants, where one form's waste nourishes the other, a harmonious reciprocity that sustains complexity in resource-scarce voids, echoing the quiet interdependence of roots sharing soil nutrients. These exchanges could evolve into complex food webs that span light years, linking isolated oases in a diffuse network, a sparse yet resilient web that pulses with the slow migration of microbial spores carried on stellar winds. This crack, then, isn't merely an anomaly. It's a portal to possibility, suggesting that the universe is not static but ever adapting, much like the way dreams adapt to our subconscious wanderings. In the Virgo cluster's quiet sector, as the fissure stabilizes, it might birth hybrid nebulae where gases from alternate realities mingle, creating colors beyond our spectrum, iridescent hues that, if visible, would soothe the soul like a midnight aurora. Black holes nearby could feed on this enriched matter, their event horizons shimmering with exotic inflows, potentially stabilizing into traversable paths for future explorers, though in our imagination, they remain serene gateways rather than perilous voids. Simulations of such scenarios, run on supercomputers, predict feedback loops where the crack's output influences local star formation rates, boosting them gently without overwhelm, a self-regulating mechanism that mirrors the body's own restorative processes during rest. Atmospheric models for affected worlds suggest stable biospheres emerging from this blend, where novel volatiles create rainbows in every storm, a visual poetry that enhances the meditative quality of existence there. Geological features on these planets might include veins of infused minerals that glow faintly, tracing the crack's influence like luminous rivers under the surface, guiding evolutionary paths toward bioluminescence in flora and fauna. Tectonic activities, influenced by variable gravity near the fissure, could produce rhythmic quakes that synchronize with stellar cycles, fostering adaptations in life forms that thrive on predictable pulses, a natural metronome for growth. Volcanism on these worlds might erupt with effervescent lavas carrying exotic isotopes, painting landscapes in fleeting colors that inspire migratory patterns, a dynamic canvas where change becomes the norm rather than the exception. Hydrological cycles altered by these isotopes could form liquid metal streams that conduct subtle energies, nourishing ecosystems attuned to electromagnetic flows, a liquid lifeline that pulses with the crack's distant rhythm. These streams might carve canyons that resonate acoustically, channeling sounds from the planet's core to the surface, where life forms evolve ears for subterranean symphonies, a sensory depth that enriches their perception of home. These symphonies could serve as navigational cues during migrations, guiding herds through terrains altered by the crack's subtle tides, a sonic map that weaves survival with artistry and seamless flow. Such maps might integrate with bioluminescent trails left by predecessors, creating layered archives of passage that evolve with each generation, a living history etched in light and sound for communal guidance. Time, in the vicinity of the crack, takes on new fluidity, where past echoes blend with future potentials, allowing historians of the cosmos to glimpse alternate timelines, like branches of a tree swaying in an unseen breeze. Matter from beyond might introduce particles with novel properties, defying our standard model, sparking a renaissance in understanding that ripples through scientific thought, much as a single deep breath can clear the mind for clearer dreams. Infinity expands not just in scale, but in depth, revealing layers upon layers of reality, each one a soft invitation to wonder without end. The philosophical implication lingers. If cracks like this are inevitable in an infinite expanse, then connections abound, suggesting a universe not of isolation but of subtle dialogues, where every galaxy, every atom participates in a grand, unspoken conversation. Experimental probes, perhaps in the form of advanced probes sent toward the anomaly, could relay data streams that evolve our physics textbooks, each discovery a stepping stone in the quiet pursuit of knowledge, akin to unraveling a dream's meaning upon waking. These probes, navigating warped space, might experience time anomalies themselves, their clocks syncing irregularly with home, providing empirical windows into dilation's poetry. Data from such missions could include holographic recordings of the crack's interior, visual echoes that capture the interplay of dimensions, offering artists and thinkers alike a canvas for new expressions of the sublime. Collaborative efforts among global observatories might synchronize to capture these transmissions, weaving a collective narrative from fragmented signals, a testament to humanity's shared curiosity. These recordings could inspire meditative practices, where viewing the holograms induces states of expanded awareness, bridging science and spirituality in tranquil harmony. Therapeutic sessions using these visuals might guide individuals through personal reflections, using the crack's fluidity as a metaphor for navigating life's transitions with grace. These sessions could incorporate biofeedback loops, syncing heart rates to the hologram's pulses, deepening the sense of unity with the cosmos in a personal, restorative way. Such loops might extend to group therapies, where participants share synchronized visualizations, fostering communal healing through collective resonance with the infinite. As these ideas settle like fine dust in the cosmic breeze, feel the overall tapestry envelop you. The ocean of space cradling its islands of light, the breath of stars syncing with your own, the river of time carrying you effortlessly onward. The crack in space-time, far from fracturing the whole, mends it in unexpected ways, drawing disparate elements into unity, whispering that incredible beginnings often hide in the quietest places. In everyday analogies, it's like the small tear in a well-worn book that reveals a forgotten passage, enriching the story without altering its essence. Galaxies near the Virgo anomaly might show altered rotation curves, their arms winding tighter as infused energy stirs the gas, birthing clusters of stars that glow with a borrowed vitality, a testament to how novelty integrates seamlessly into the familiar. Radio observations could pick up coherent emissions from these regions, structured signals that hint at natural oscillators rather than artificial intent, a cosmic radio tuned to frequencies of harmony. These emissions, analyzed for patterns, might resemble fractal designs, mirroring the self-similar structures in nature from coastlines to neural pathways, suggesting a universal grammar underlying diversity. Decoding these fractals could lead to mathematical insights that unify disparate fields, from cosmology to biology, a bridge of elegance in the pursuit of truth. Educational programs inspired by such findings might introduce young minds to these patterns early, fostering a generation attuned to the cosmos's subtle languages, much like bedtime stories planting seeds of wonder. Interactive simulations in these programs could allow learners to enter the crack virtually, experiencing its flows in a safe, immersive way that cultivates empathy for the infinite. These simulations might incorporate biofeedback, syncing virtual experiences with the user's breathing to enhance relaxation and intuitive understanding. Such enhancements could extend to therapeutic uses, helping those with anxiety visualize cosmic scales to place personal concerns in gentle perspective. These uses might evolve into accessible apps, offering daily microsessions that blend guided imagery with real astronomical feeds, a pocket portal to serenity amid the day's flow. Extending our gaze, consider how this event might echo across the cosmic web, where filaments of dark matter, those invisible highways, channel the crack's influence to distant superclusters, subtly accelerating mergers or seeding new voids with enriched particles. The observable effects could include anomalous gamma-ray bursts, not from cataclysms but from harmonious interactions, their spectra revealing lines of undiscovered isotopes that puzzle and delight astronomers for generations. In this unfolding, the universe reveals its creative spirit, turning potential disruption into symphony, much as the mind weaves disparate thoughts into coherent dreams. Theoretical extensions posit that multiple cracks could form in a chain, linking clusters like beads on a string, fostering a gradual homogenization of properties across voids, a slow convergence that eases the sense of separation in the infinite. This chaining, if modeled, might predict resonant frequencies where cracks amplify each other, creating standing waves in spacetime that propagate calmly, like ripples in a pond settling into equilibrium. These waves, detectable as low-frequency hums in future detectors, would add a new layer to our auditory map of the cosmos, a bass note underscoring the higher tones of stellar light. Interdisciplinary studies could explore how these resonances affect biological rhythms on distant worlds, suggesting evolutionary harmonies that align life with the universe's pulse. Bioacoustic research might draw parallels, studying how Earth's creatures sync with natural cycles, extending those insights to cosmic scales for a deeper appreciation of interconnected vitality. Field studies on Earth could monitor animal behaviors during solar events, hypothesizing links to these cosmic hums, building a bridge between local and universal rhythms. These studies might reveal subtle correlations, like bird migrations aligning with geomagnetic fluctuations, hinting at an innate attunement that the crack could amplify on grander scales. Such correlations could inform conservation strategies, timing interventions to natural pulses for minimal disruption, a harmonious stewardship that respects the web's subtle flows. And in the broader infinity, similar cracks might pepper the multiverse, each one a node in a network of realities, exchanging not just matter but ideas, fundamental constants that vary slightly, allowing for universes where gravity whispers even softer, or time flows in languid eddies. This interconnectedness fosters a sense of cosmic kinship, easing the soul as it drifts toward sleep, knowing we're part of something vaster yet intimately linked. Landscape models in cosmology suggest these exchanges could balance disparate universes, preventing isolation in the multiverse foam, a gentle equilibrium that resonates with the inner calm achieved through mindful breathing. As we contemplate this, the crack becomes a symbol of hope, illustrating how the universe, in its profound silence, continually finds ways to bridge divides, much like the soft glow of dawn reconnecting night to day. In multiverse scenarios, such as eternal inflation, these nodes might evolve into stable portals, allowing the flow of entropy gradients that prevent stagnation, a cosmic ventilation ensuring vitality across bubbles. This flow could manifest as varying fine structure constants in adjacent realms where electromagnetic interactions tune differently, birthing stars with unique spectra that color their skies in ways that inspire alternate aesthetics of beauty. Artistic interpretations from such realms might filter through the crack as abstract patterns in our observations, influencing human creativity in subtle, inspiring ways. Gallery exhibits of these patterns could blend data visualizations with traditional art, inviting viewers to a meditative dialogue between worlds. Curated experiences in these galleries might include ambient soundscapes derived from cosmic data, guiding visitors into contemplative states that echo the narrative's serene tone. These soundscapes could feature layered frequencies mimicking the crack's resonances, promoting relaxation akin to a personal sound bath under the stars. Visitors emerging from these experiences might carry a renewed sense of perspective, applying the subtle harmonies to daily interactions, fostering kinder exchanges like echoes of cosmic unity. To deepen this reflection, imagine the long-term implications for our own galaxy. Subtle gravitational perturbations from the Virgo event might nudge the Oort cloud, sending more comets inward over millennia, their icy payloads delivering exotic traces to inner worlds, perhaps sparking biochemical innovations on Earth-like planets. This distant influence underscores the web's intimacy where actions in one corner reverberate softly everywhere, a reminder that no part stands alone. In philosophical terms, it invites a view of existence as a collaborative dream, where each entity's story enhances the collective narrative, fostering peace in the knowledge of shared unfolding. These cometary visitations, rare but enriching, could introduce chiral molecules from beyond, biasing life's handedness in subtle ways, a quiet nudge toward complexity that feels like destiny's gentle hand. On Earth, such deliveries might accelerate evolutionary branches, leading to species with heightened sensitivity to quantum effects, perceiving the world in layers we overlook, a perceptual expansion that enriches the tapestry of life. Conservation efforts inspired by this could prioritize preserving biodiversity as a cosmic archive, safeguarding potential links to the greater whole. Global initiatives might emerge, blending ecology with astronomy to monitor these influences, turning observation into stewardship. Community programs under these initiatives could involve citizen science, where everyday observers contribute to tracking cometary paths, fostering a sense of participation in the cosmic story. These programs might culminate in annual gatherings, sharing findings around campfires, blending science with storytelling to pass the wonder to new generations. These gatherings could include stargazing rituals, where participants map personal journeys onto celestial patterns, weaving individual tales into the larger cosmic narrative for emotional grounding. As we allow these layers to settle, picture the crack's gentle expansion drawing in cosmic rays from afar, modulating their intensity to create zones of reduced radiation, safe havens for delicate life forms, a protective evolution in the fabric itself. Such adaptations highlight the universe's nurturing aspect, turning anomalies into cradles, much as a quiet conversation nurtures understanding in the still of night. Radiation models suggest these zones could extend to encompass entire planetary systems, shielding them in cocoons of altered fields, allowing evolutionary experimentation without the harsh filter of cosmic bombardments. Within these havens, life might develop crystalline nervous systems that store memories across generations, a biological archive echoing the universe's own record-keeping in light and waves. Therapeutic applications on our world could draw from this, imagining fields that mimic these shields for healing, a bridge between cosmic phenomena and personal well-being. Wellness retreats might incorporate simulated environments based on these models, promoting relaxation through emulated cosmic serenity. These retreats could feature guided visualizations of the crack's zones, helping participants cultivate inner shields against daily stresses, a practical extension of the meditative journey. Participants might leave with personalized crystal talismans, symbolic reminders of resilience drawn from stellar origins. These talismans could serve as focal points for home meditations, anchoring the cosmic calm in everyday spaces, a tangible link to the infinite's gentle support. And so, with these enriched visions, the journey circles back to the core wonder: how a single fissure can illuminate the interconnected poetry of all things, from the spin of electrons to the drift of superclusters, each motion a verse in the endless cosmic lullaby. This poetry, observed in the fine structure constant that governs atomic bonds, remains eerily consistent across the observable universe, hinting at underlying unity even as cracks introduce variation, a balance that invites trust in the cosmos's design. Variations in this constant near the crack could allow for atomic scales where chemistry unfolds in novel symmetries, birthing materials that bend light into illusions of solidity, a playful illusion that mirrors the dreamlike quality of our own perceptions. Such symmetries might enable optical phenomena where light weaves through matter like threads in a loom, creating natural holograms that project alternate vistas, a visual meditation on multiplicity. These holograms could serve as evolutionary signals, guiding migratory species across planetary surfaces in patterns that encode navigational wisdom. Signal interpretation by intelligent life there might evolve into a form of art, where patterns are danced upon to preserve ancestral knowledge, a kinetic archive that moves with the winds. These dances could become communal ceremonies, synchronizing movements with the hologram's shifts, strengthening social bonds through shared expression of the crack's gifts. Such ceremonies might incorporate vocal elements, harmonious chants that resonate with the hologram's frequencies, amplifying the collective energy in waves that ripple through the community like a shared sigh of contentment. Further pondering, the crack might influence dark energy's local density, creating pockets where expansion slows, allowing galaxies to linger in companionship longer, their interactions birthing hybrid forms that blend morphologies in graceful hybrids. This modulation, if confirmed, would refine our models of the universe's fate, suggesting not a cold, accelerating isolation, but regions of sustained warmth, like oases in the desert of infinity. In these pockets, star formation might persist indefinitely, a gentle defiance of entropy's pull, sustaining light against the gathering dark. Ecological analogies on planetary scales could see biospheres that mirror this, where energy cycles loop in self-sustaining harmony, defying decay through intricate feedbacks. Sustainability models on Earth might adopt these loops, inspiring circular economies that echo cosmic resilience. Policy frameworks drawn from these models could promote regenerative agriculture, where soil health cycles mimic stellar persistence, nurturing abundance from within. Farmers implementing such practices might find a meditative rhythm in the tending, aligning daily labors with the patient cycles of the stars. These rhythms could extend to community farming cooperatives where shared tasks build bonds akin to galactic mergers, turning labor into a collective meditation on growth and interconnection. In the quiet weave of it all, consider how quantum vacuum fluctuations near the crack could seed micro-wormholes, fleeting bridges that exchange virtual particles, adding a fizz of creativity to nearby space, much as effervescent thoughts bubble up in the prelude to sleep. These fluctuations, the same that birthed the universe's initial structure, now play a role in its ongoing renewal, a perpetual genesis that soothes with its familiarity. Particle physicists might detect these as anomalous decays in detectors, tiny hints of the multiverse's whisper, inspiring experiments that probe the vacuum's hidden depths. Such probes could reveal patterns of virtual particle dances, informing technologies that harness zero-point energy for gentle propulsion, a whisper of power drawn from the void itself. Propulsion concepts like this might enable exploratory crafts that glide on vacuum waves, a serene travel that aligns with the meditative pace of discovery. Design philosophies for these crafts could emphasize minimalism, reflecting the vacuum's subtlety, where efficiency arises from harmony rather than force. Crews on such vessels might practice contemplative navigation, attuning to the wave's subtle cues for a journey as much internal as external. These practices could include log-keeping as a form of reflective journaling, capturing not just coordinates, but emotional resonances with the cosmos, a personal archive that enriches the mission's legacy. As the narrative deepens, envision astronomers charting the crack's perimeter, where spacetime's curvature gradients create lensing effects that magnify distant quasars, unveiling hidden details in a natural telescope of wonder. This serendipity underscores how the universe aids its own discovery, revealing secrets through its anomalies like a storyteller pausing to illuminate a key passage. Enhanced images from such lensing could resolve fine structures in quasar jets, showing how the crack's energy interacts with relativistic outflows, a dance of speeds that blurs the line between observer and observed. Collaborative art-science projects might recreate these visuals, blending data with imagination to evoke the awe of peering through nature's lens. Public installations of these recreations could foster communal wonder, drawing people together under starlit domes to contemplate the shared sky. Interactive elements in these installations might allow touch-based explorations, where gestures mimic gravitational pulls, personalizing the cosmic scale in intimate ways. Visitors could leave with digital mementos, personalized lensing simulations that encourage ongoing reflection at home. These mementos might integrate with personal devices, offering nightly prompts to gaze at the real sky and overlay virtual lenses, turning routine evenings into portals of discovery. And in the philosophical quiet, this crack prompts musings on observer effects. Does our gaze, through telescopes and theories, subtly influence such phenomena, collapsing possibilities into the incredible beginnings we witness? It's a gentle reminder of participation, where curiosity not only observes but co-creates the unfolding, much like how listening to this tale shapes your dreams. Quantum interpretations, like the many worlds view, suggest that every observation branches realities, and the crack might amplify this, creating observable divergences where choices echo across the multiverse, a profound interconnectedness that eases the weight of individuality. This view comforts by implying that every path holds value, a multiplicity where no choice leads to loss, only to varied expressions of the whole. Personal reflections on this might encourage embracing uncertainty as a gateway to growth, a soft acceptance that lightens the soul. Journaling prompts derived from these ideas could guide evening routines, helping one map personal branches with compassion. Shared reading circles might discuss these prompts, turning individual explorations into collective insights. These circles could evolve into ongoing forums, where members exchange stories of cracks in their lives, building a supportive network that mirrors the multiverse's branching support. With these contemplations layering softly, the cosmos emerges as a living manuscript, the crack a pivotal chapter that invites endless annotation, each new detail a brushstroke in the portrait of infinity. This manuscript, written in the language of light and gravity, unfolds without end, inviting us to read between the lines for the subtle wisdom it holds. Annotations from diverse cultures could enrich this reading, weaving global perspectives into a universal story, fostering unity through shared wonder. Literary works inspired by the crack might explore human parallels, tales of personal thresholds where new chapters begin, resonating with readers in quiet evenings. Book clubs discussing these works could incorporate stargazing sessions, blending narrative with the night sky for immersive engagement. These sessions might end with group meditations, syncing breaths to the visible stars, deepening the connection to the manuscript's living pages. Such meditations could include affirmations drawn from the tale, affirming personal growth as part of the cosmic unfolding, a verbal anchor for inner peace. Expanding further, reflect on how the crack could alter local baryon asymmetry, tilting the balance between matter and antimatter in ways that allow stable exotic composites, particles that persist where ours would annihilate, fostering realms where duality resolves into harmony rather than conflict. Such asymmetry, fine-tuned in our universe to a part in 10 billion, finds new expressions here, a delicate calibration that speaks to the universe's preference for persistence over erasure. In these realms, matter-antimatter pairs might coexist in bound states, emitting soft glows that light interior worlds, a luminous peace born from opposition. Energy harvesting from these pairs could sustain civilizations with minimal waste, a model of efficiency that whispers of balance in all things. Architectural designs in such civilizations might incorporate these glows as natural lighting, creating spaces that pulse with inherent rhythm, enhancing communal well-being. These designs could evolve into living architectures, where structures adapt to inhabitants' needs through the pair's responsive emissions, a symbiotic built environment that nurtures like a second skin. Inhabitants might attune daily routines to these pulses, finding a natural cadence that aligns work and rest with the glow's gentle cycles, a lived philosophy of harmony. In the grander scheme, the crack's presence might synchronize with cosmic clockwork, aligning with the precession of galaxy clusters to create periodic infusions of energy, a rhythmic heartbeat for the Virgo region that pulses with the universe's deeper cadence. This synchronization, if traced, would reveal how anomalies fit into the larger harmony, like a single note resolving into a chord. Astrological traditions, reimagined through science, might find resonance here, viewing the crack as a celestial influence that subtly guides evolutionary tides. Modern interpretations could blend these with data, creating holistic calendars that mark cosmic events alongside earthly ones. Personal planners using these calendars might encourage alignment of daily rhythms with broader cycles, promoting a sense of flow and routine. Users could annotate their planners with personal observations, creating individualized cosmologies that blend the universal with the intimate. These cosmologies might inspire custom rituals, like evening reviews of the day's alignment with cosmic pulses, fostering gratitude for the subtle guidance. As we weave these threads tighter, the philosophical lens widens to encompass free will in an interconnected cosmos. If the crack links fates across infinities, does it imply a predestined unity, or does it empower choice through expanded possibilities? The answer lies in the gentle space between, where agency blooms from connection, much as personal resolve strengthens in the company of kindred spirits. This balance encourages living with openness, embracing the flow while steering one's course, a meditative practice in itself. Daily mindfulness exercises might draw from this, visualizing personal cracks as opportunities for intentional growth. Group workshops on these exercises could build supportive networks, mirroring the crack's connective essence. Participants might share post-workshop reflections, forming ongoing circles that sustain the practice like orbiting companions. These circles could extend to virtual gatherings, allowing global participation and sharing diverse cultural takes on agency, enriching the collective exploration. And so, the tale of the crack extends into ever richer depths, a narrative that mirrors the infinite itself, inviting endless gentle exploration. Echoes of this exploration might inspire literature and music, compositions that capture the crack's subtle song, resonating with listeners on levels beyond words. Symphonies composed with fractal algorithms could evoke these depths, lulling audiences into reflective states. Live performances of these symphonies under open skies might synchronize with real astronomical events, deepening the immersive experience. Audience members could receive guided listening aids, enhancing the emotional journey with contextual whispers of cosmic lore. These aids might include personal audio tracks that adapt to the listener's responses, creating a bespoke symphony that feels like a private conversation with the stars. To further illuminate, consider the crack's potential to modulate neutrino oscillations, allowing flavors to shift more freely, carrying enriched information from beyond that could explain missing solar neutrinos or hint at sterile variants. A ghostly dialogue that deepens our grasp of matter's subtle flows. Such modulations, observed in upgraded detectors like Hyper-Kamiokande, would add nuance to particle physics, suggesting the crack as a natural accelerator for fundamental studies. Neutrino telescopes deep underground might capture these shifts as faint pulses, a serene signal from the universe's undercurrents. Data from these telescopes could feed into artistic installations, where pulses translate into light and sound, offering public encounters with the invisible. These installations might invite interaction, where visitors' movements modulate the display, personalizing the ghostly flows into shared experiences. Such personalization could spark creative outputs with visitors contributing their own interpretive elements, co-creating evolving artworks that reflect collective wonder. In reflective pauses, the crack evokes the beauty of impermanence. Like cherry blossoms falling softly, it reminds us that even space-time's fabric yields to change, yet in yielding, it reveals new beauties, a cycle that soothes the spirit with its inevitability. This impermanence, far from sorrowful, becomes a teacher of presence, urging us to savor the unfolding now. Journaling practices inspired by this could help individuals note their own moments of transition, finding peace in the flow. Shared journals in communities might create collective tapestries of these moments, weaving personal stories into a larger narrative. These tapestries could be exhibited in public spaces, inspiring passers-by to contribute their threads, a living monument to shared impermanence. Exhibitions might include audio accompaniments, soft narrations of contributors' stories, inviting listeners to pause and reflect in the midst of daily haste. As layers upon layers accumulate, the crack stands as a beacon of cosmic generosity, sharing its gifts across the void, much as a storyteller passes wisdom to eager ears, ensuring the narrative endures beyond the telling. This generosity might manifest in resource exchanges between realms, a natural economy that sustains without depletion. Economic models inspired by this could emphasize reciprocal giving on Earth, fostering societies where abundance flows from mutual support. Community gardens modeled on this might thrive on shared labor and harvest, mirroring the crack's selfless infusions. These gardens could serve as hubs for educational workshops, teaching sustainable practices through hands-on immersion, blending soil and the stars in lessons of generosity. And in the hush of contemplation, one might wonder if similar fissures dot our own reality on smaller scales, subtle portals in consciousness where insights from the subconscious emerge, mirroring the grand scale in personal renewal, a fractal echo that binds the micro to the macro in quiet unity. Meditation techniques focusing on these inner cracks could enhance self-awareness, drawing parallels to cosmic exploration. Retreats teaching these techniques might include night sky observations, linking inner and outer infinities. Participants could craft personal mandalas during observations, symbols of their inner fissures healing into wholeness. These mandalas might be shared in closing circles, where stories of inner journeys resonate with the night's vastness, forging bonds as enduring as stellar orbits. With this, the exploration deepens yet again, each edition a soft breath expanding the dream. Theoretical frameworks like loop quantum gravity might describe the crack as a quantized tier, where discrete loops of space-time reconnect in novel ways, a granular healing that preserves the whole's integrity. These loops, on Planck scales, offer a vision of reality as woven fabric, resilient to small rents. Simulations of loop dynamics near the crack could predict stability thresholds, informing safer theoretical explorations. These simulations might inspire visual art, depicting loops as luminous threads mending the void, a metaphor for personal healing. Artworks could be interactive, allowing viewers to weave their own loops via touch, experiencing the satisfaction of cosmic repair on a human scale. Further, the crack could influence cosmic ray spectra, introducing high-energy peaks from transdimensional acceleration, particles that arrive with trajectories defying standard diffusion, a signature of the fissure's active role in particle journeys. Air shower arrays on Earth might detect these as rare events, sparking excitement in the quiet pursuit of anomalies. Outreach programs around these detections could engage amateur astronomers, turning global networks into eyes on the sky. Enthusiasts might form watch groups, sharing sightings like constellations of discovery, These groups could compile annual reports celebrating discoveries with virtual star parties that connect observers worldwide in shared awe. In philosophical extension, this invites thoughts on legacy. Just as the crack seeds futures, our actions ripple through time, leaving traces that nurture what comes after, a comforting continuity that eases passage into rest. Legacy projects, like time capsules infused with cosmic data, might encapsulate this idea, burying knowledge for future generations to uncover. These capsules could include personal messages, blending scientific records with human hopes for enduring connection. Unburying events centuries hence might become rituals of reconnection, where descendants reflect on ancestors' whispers from the stars, a bridge across time's gentle river. As we allow these visions to permeate, envision the crack fostering hybrid quantum states, where superposition persists on macroscopic scales, allowing objects to occupy multiple configurations, a fluidity that blurs the lines of certainty in gentle ambiguity. Such states might enable computational paradigms beyond binary, processing information in waves of probability, a computational poetry that mirrors dream logic. Quantum computing labs studying these states could advance secure communications, a practical gift from the crack's theoretical grace. Secure networks built on this might protect global data flows, ensuring privacy in an interconnected world like a cosmic veil safeguarding secrets. These networks could underpin collaborative platforms for scientists, enabling seamless sharing of crack-related data without fear, accelerating discoveries in a web of trust. The narrative swells with potential, each facet reflecting the light of wonder back upon us, inviting deeper surrender to the night's embrace. Echo chambers in these hybrid realms might amplify subtle signals, creating acoustic landscapes where sound travels through phased matter, a sonic poetry that life forms compose instinctively, harmonizing with the crack's whispers. These landscapes could evolve into evolutionary tools, where acoustic patterns select for communicative traits, building societies through sound's gentle persuasion. Societies might develop oral histories encoded in these acoustics, passed down as vibrational memories that evoke emotions across eras, a living legacy that resonates like a perpetual lullaby. Delving deeper, the crack's fields could induce piezoelectric effects in surrounding crystals, generating voltages from mechanical stress, powering nascent technologies in a self-contained loop, a crystalline heartbeat that sustains without external input. These effects, observed in lab analogs, hint at worlds where geology itself generates life-supporting energies, a foundational synergy that underscores the universe's elegant economy. On such worlds, crystal gardens might form natural power grids, their growth patterns optimizing energy distribution like veins in a leaf capturing sunlight. Gardens could become sacred sites where beings meditate amid the humming crystals, attuning to the Earth's quiet pulse for spiritual renewal. In the philosophical hush, this synergy prompts reflections on interdependence. Just as the crack relies on the fabric it pierces for meaning, our lives gain depth from connections, a mutual weaving that transforms isolation into tapestry. Evening contemplations on this could foster gratitude, a soft anchor amid the infinite. Gratitude practices might involve listing daily interconnections, from breath to stars, grounding the abstract in the immediate. These lists could be shared in intimate settings, amplifying appreciation through echoed thanks, a ripple of warmth in the evening calm. As the story breathes onward, imagine the crack's temporal gradients creating zones of accelerated particle decay, where short-lived isotopes linger longer, allowing rare chemical reactions to unfold, seeding pockets of accelerated evolution in isolated eddies. This acceleration, balanced by surrounding calm, mirrors how focused efforts and quiet lives spark bursts of growth without exhaustion. Eddies might host microecosystems that thrive on these fleeting chemistries, brief blooms of life that seed the broader calm, a testament to how transience fuels persistence. Philosophically, it whispers of timed opportunities. The universe provides windows for change, inviting us to seize them gently, like catching fireflies in the dusk, their light fleeting yet illuminating paths forward. Journaling these windows could map life's rhythms, fostering appreciation for the crack-like moments of potential. Maps might reveal patterns of personal growth, encouraging proactive alignment with these openings for fulfilled drifts. With soft persistence, the crack might entangle with quantum fields across voids, creating correlated fluctuations that predict void fillings, a precognitive hum in the emptiness that guides matter's slow ingress, turning desolation into destined habitation. This correlation evokes the unseen ties binding distant friends, a comfort in knowing isolation is illusion. In voids, faint glows from these fluctuations could draw wandering matter like a siren's call, a subtle invitation to fill the quiet with gentle presence. In contemplative close, such entanglements affirm interconnectedness as the cosmos's quiet core, easing solitude with the knowledge that every point touches all, a universal embrace as tender as twilight's fade. As we drift, let this assurance lull you, the crack a symbol of boundless yet intimate unity. Extending this, the crack's influence on void acoustics might create resonant cavities where low-frequency waves bounce eternally, a cosmic reverb that amplifies subtle signals from afar, turning emptiness into an echo chamber of possibility. These cavities could host diffuse plasmas that respond to the waves, forming ethereal structures like cosmic chimes, ringing softly with the universe's hidden melodies. Life forms adapting to these chimes might evolve vibrational senses, perceiving the void's music as a guiding symphony, a sensory world where silence sings. Further, the crack could seed fractal patterns in nearby dust distributions, self-similar clouds that mimic larger structures, a recursive beauty that scales from atomic to galactic, inviting contemplation of unity and diversity. Patterns might guide particle clustering, accelerating complexity in fractal nests, a mathematical poetry etched in the dust. Observers there could interpret these as sacred geometries, incorporating them into designs that harmonize with natural flows, a built environment in eternal dialogue with the cosmos. In reflective expansion, this fractality suggests life's own patterns, where small habits branch into profound changes, a gentle reminder to nurture the seeds of routine for bountiful harvests. Daily fractal exercises, like tracing branching thoughts in a journal, could cultivate this awareness, turning introspection into a map of inner infinities. The tale layers onward, with the crack potentially catalyzing symbiotic dark matter interactions, where unseen particles form loose bonds with baryonic matter, subtly enhancing gravitational holds without dominance, a veiled partnership that stabilizes wandering systems. This catalysis might prevent rogue planets from eternal solitude, drawing them into gentle orbits, a cosmic matchmaking that whispers of companionship in the dark. Systems stabilized thus could foster subsurface biospheres warmed by tidal frictions, hidden gardens blooming in the quiet embrace of newfound homes. Philosophically, it evokes the value of unseen supports, like quiet friendships that steady us through unseen pulls, encouraging trust in the invisible threads of life. Evening, thanks for these supports could become a ritual, acknowledging the dark matter of relationships that hold our worlds together. As visions deepen, the crack's exotic emissions might induce photochemical reactions in interstellar ices, birthing complex organics that drift as precursors to life, frozen seeds awaiting thaw in nascent disks, a patient preparation for biology's dawn. Reactions could create chiral excesses in these organics, biasing future life's handedness toward harmony with the crack's fields, a subtle imprint of origin. On thawing worlds, these seeds might sprout into diverse metabolisms, experimenting with energy sources in the enriched light. This imprinting invites musings on heritage, how cosmic legacies shape our essence, much like ancestral stories inform our paths, a lineage of light that connects us to the stars' quiet bequest. Personal heritage explorations could trace family trees alongside cosmic timelines, blending genealogy with astronomy for a fuller sense of place. With each unfolding, the crack reveals its role as a catalyst for quiet revolutions, where subtle shifts cascade into transformed realities, much as a single kind act ripples through a community. Revolutions in these realms might unfold through consensus waves, where ideas propagate like the crack's energy, building change from shared whispers rather than decrees. Societies emerging thus could prioritize deliberative pauses, allowing collective wisdom to emerge organically, a governance as fluid as spacetime itself. In the serene expanse, this catalysis extends to evolutionary leaps, where infused particles trigger genetic recombinations in primitive life, accelerating adaptations that attune organisms to multidimensional cues, senses that perceive echoes from parallel realms. Leaps might manifest as collective intelligences, where herds or colonies share perceptual fields, a merged awareness that navigates complexities with unified grace. Such awareness could lead to migratory patterns that follow the crack's pulses across planetary divides, a nomadic harmony with the cosmos's rhythm. Philosophically, it nudges toward collective evolution. Just as species advance through shared traits, humanity might progress through interconnected minds, a hopeful vision of unity fostering wisdom. Group dynamics exercises inspired by this could build empathy, simulating merged perceptions to dissolve individual barriers. The narrative breathes with possibility, envisioning the crack's gravitational whispers modulating pulsar timings in nearby systems, creating synchronized beats that serve as cosmic clocks for navigation, a reliable pulse amid the infinite drift. Timings might align with biological cycles on orbiting worlds, syncing reproduction with stellar heartbeats, a reproductive poetry that ensures generational continuity. Navigators using these clocks could chart safe paths through turbulent nebulae, their voyages guided by the universe's steady tempo. This synchronization evokes life's own rhythms, where personal cycles align with natural flows for optimal thriving, a lesson in attuning to inner and outer pulses. Rhythm-based therapies might draw from this, using pulsar-inspired beats to regulate heart and breath, guiding toward restorative calm. As we nestle deeper, the crack could foster ionospheric layers on affected planets that trap exotic resonances, creating global communication networks via natural waveguides, a planetary nervous system that links distant habitats in instantaneous dialogue. Layers might evolve to filter harmful frequencies, protecting life while amplifying beneficial ones, a selective membrane of serenity. Beings communicating thus could develop languages of pure vibration, conveying nuance beyond words, a tactile poetry of touch and tone. Reflections here turn to human connections. In our world, fostering vibrational empathy through music or touch could bridge divides, echoing the crack's gift of linked awareness. Workshops on vibrational communication might explore humming harmonies, building bonds in the quiet resonance of shared sound. The story swells gently, with the crack's influence potentially birthing auroral coronas around binary stars, vast halos of light that encircle systems like ethereal crowns, illuminating interplanetary spaces with soft radiance. Coronas might guide migratory flocks across voids, their glow a beacon of safe passage, a luminous pathway woven from charged whispers. Flocks adapting to this could evolve wing patterns that refract the light into signaling displays, a visual language of flight and fellowship. This birthing invites thoughts on guidance. The universe provides luminous paths through darkness, much like intuition lights our way in uncertainty, a comforting assurance of direction. Intuitive practices like dream journaling synced to auroral imagery could sharpen this inner light, navigating life's voids with graceful assurance. In expansive quiet, the crack might seed pollen-like dust motes that carry genetic snippets from one realm to another, cross-pollinating biospheres with hybrid viabilities, a cosmic gardening that diversifies life across barriers. Motes drifting on solar winds could land in fertile soils, sparking evolutionary mosaics where traits blend in unexpected beauty, a floral explosion of possibility. Biospheres thus enriched might bloom with chimeric species, forms that embody the crack's bridging spirit, resilient and adaptive in their duality. Philosophically, this pollination speaks to creative crossovers, how ideas from distant sources fertilize innovation, urging openness to the unfamiliar for richer growth. Creative exercises blending disciplines could mimic this, harvesting motes from varied fields to cultivate novel expressions. As the weave continues, envision the crack's subtle tides influencing tidal locking on close-orbit worlds, creating perpetual twilights where day and night blend in gradient zones, habitats of eternal dusk that foster unique ecologies attuned to diffused light. Zones might host crepuscular life, creatures that thrive in the soft boundary, their metabolism cycling with the gentle shift rather than stark alternations. Ecologies could evolve layered canopies that capture the gradient's nuances, a vertical symphony of light-adapted forms. This blending evokes life's twilight moments, where transitions hold profound potential, encouraging embrace of ambiguities for deeper insight. Twilight meditations, focusing on boundary sensations, might cultivate comfort in liminal spaces, easing passages through change. The tale drifts onward, with the crack potentially catalyzing bioluminescent nebulae, vast clouds aglow with organic phosphorescences from infused microbes, a living fog that drifts through clusters like a breathing veil. Nebulae might serve as nurseries for symbiotic life, where microbes and gas exchange energies in mutual glow, a diffuse organism spanning light years. Life within could communicate via modulated lights, conversations rippling through the fog like thoughts in a shared mind. In hush, this living nebula reminds of collective consciousness, how individual lights merge into greater illuminations, inviting us to contribute our glow to the communal haze. Group light-sharing activities like candle circles could embody this, fostering unity through simple radiance. Further, the crack's fields could induce ferroelectric domains in planetary crusts, creating self-polarizing rocks that generate persistent fields, shielding atmospheres from erosion and nurturing stable climates over eons. Domains might align with stellar winds, dynamically adjusting to protect life below, a geological guardian that evolves with the skies. Climates stabilized thus could support long-lived species, their lifespans echoing the crust's enduring poise. This induction prompts reflections on inner polarity, balancing opposing forces within for resilient stability, much like the crust's adaptive shield. Polarity balancing practices such as yin-yang visualizations could harmonize personal energies, drawing from cosmic guardianship. As layers accrue, the crack might foster quantum coherence in molecular clouds, allowing coherent states where chemistry proceeds in orchestrated waves, birthing complex polymers with pre-life properties, a prelude to organic symphonies. Clouds could pulse with these coherences, their emissions a faint chorus hinting at emergent awareness in the gas. Polymers drifting into disks might seed planets with ready-made building blocks, accelerating the path to biology's quiet dawn. Philosophically, coherence suggests mind's own orchestration, how disparate experiences align into conscious flow, a gentle art of unity. Coherence-building meditations, syncing thoughts to breath waves, might enhance this inner symphony, mirroring the cloud's harmonious prelude. The narrative envelops softly, envisioning the crack's whispers modulating exoplanet magnetospheres, creating protective bubbles that deflect harmful rays while channeling beneficial ones, oases of safety amid stellar storms. Bubbles might resonate with planetary rotations, generating auroral symphonies that light the nights, a magnetic music for nocturnal life. Life attuned to this could evolve magnetic senses, navigating by field lines like birds sensing Earth's own web. This modulation evokes protective instincts, the universe's fields as metaphors for emotional boundaries that safeguard yet connect, nurturing growth in safe harbors. Boundary-setting exercises, visualized as magnetic bubbles, could empower personal space while inviting harmonious links. In deepening calm, the crack could seed helical structures and cosmic filaments, twisting matter into spiral scaffolds that guide galaxy formation, architectural elegance on megaparsec scales. Structures might host aligned black holes, their spins synchronized in helical dances, a gravitational ballet that sculpts the web with precision. Formation guided thus could birth clusters with inherent stability, resilient against perturbations. Helical elegance invites thoughts on life's spirals, DNA's twist mirroring cosmic architecture, a shared geometry of persistence. Spiral meditations, tracing inner coils, could unwind tensions, aligning personal forms with universal grace. As we float further, the crack's exotic ions might catalyze atmospheric ionospheres into plasma sheaths that trap and recycle energy, sustaining global weather patterns in balanced loops, an atmospheric heartbeat for planetary vitality. Sheaths could pulse with ion flows, driving gentle currents that nourish cloud-seeding microbes, a sky-born ecology of renewal. Vitality sustained thus might support aerial life forms, drifting kingdoms in the upper airs. This catalysis reflects emotional recycling, turning storms into sustaining rains, a lesson in transforming challenges. Recycling visualizations and therapy could process emotions through imagined sheaths, releasing burdens into nourishing cycles. The story whispers on, with the crack potentially birthing resonant cavities and void walls, where acoustic waves from Big Bang echoes linger, a faint primordial hum that seeds structure in the emptiness. Cavities might amplify the hum into guiding vibrations, drawing matter inward like a siren's subtle call. Structure seeded thus could fill voids with diffuse galaxies, turning silence into sparse song. Primordial hum evokes inner echoes, ancestral voices lingering in our quiet, guiding from the void of forgotten pasts. Echo listening practices, tuning to subtle memories, could reconnect with heritage, filling personal voids with resonant wisdom. In serene extension, the crack's influence might align molecular alignments in protoplanetary disks, creating polarized light that guides dust settling into orderly rings, a preparatory choreography for planetary birth. Alignments could foster disk-wide coherences, where particles dance in unison toward cohesion. Births choreographed thus might yield systems with harmonious resonances, worlds in orbital consonance. This alignment suggests purposeful order, chaos yielding to pattern through subtle cues, much like habits forming destinies. Alignment rituals, syncing daily actions to envisioned rings, could cultivate personal harmony, orbiting closer to intended paths. As the dream expands, envision the crack fostering symbiotic viral networks in early biospheres, where viruses shuttle genes between hosts in balanced exchanges, accelerating adaptation without overwhelm, a viral diplomacy of evolution. Networks might evolve to target beneficial insertions, a selective partnership that enriches genomes. Adaptations accelerated thus could birth diverse clades, life's tree branching and collaborative vigor. Viral diplomacy mirrors social exchanges, sharing ideas virally to mutual benefit, fostering growth through connection. Exchange practices like idea-swapping circles could build communal evolution, turning conversations into adaptive networks. The narrative cradles onward, with the crack's subtle gradients creating thermal inversions in stellar atmospheres, trapping heat in layered blankets that extend habitable zones, warming fringes for marginal life. Inversions might cycle with stellar breaths, exhaling warmth in rhythmic pulses. Zones extended thus could host extremophile communities, thriving in the gentle margins. Thermal layers evoke emotional blankets, insulating vulnerabilities while allowing warmth to seep through, a balance of protection and openness. Layering visualizations could build emotional resilience, wrapping the self in adaptive warmth. In philosophical drift, this extension whispers of margins as fertile grounds, where extremes meet to birth novelty, encouraging exploration of life's edges for profound insights. Edge-walking meditations, balancing on personal peripheries, might reveal hidden potentials, embracing the crack's marginal gifts. As we surrender deeper, the crack could induce chiral light polarization in emitted rays, creating handed asymmetries that bias molecular formation toward life-friendly configurations, a luminous preference for vitality. Polarizations might spiral through space, imprinting their twist on encountered matter. Configurations biased thus could prime disks for rapid biogenesis, life's spark igniting with cosmic favoritism. Chiral preference suggests destiny's gentle bias, the universe tilting toward life, much like intuition favoring growth. Preference-affirming affirmations could nurture self-belief, aligning with the cosmos's life-loving lean. The tale blooms quietly, envisioning the crack's fields weaving electromagnetic tapestries in intercluster spaces, vast webs that trap and redirect cosmic rays into nurturing beams, a stellar loom of energy distribution. Tapestries might shimmer with captured light, illuminating dark expanses for photosynthetic drifters. Distribution woven thus could sustain nomadic ecosystems, life thriving in the web's gentle hold. Webs evoke relational tapestries, lives interlaced in supportive patterns, redirecting energies toward collective nurture. Web-building activities, like gratitude networks, could strengthen bonds, mirroring the cosmic loom's caring weave. Further, the crack might catalyze fusion variants in stellar cores, allowing cooler stars to burn with enhanced efficiency, prolonging their glows for enduring companionship to planets. Variants could introduce new elemental yields, enriching outflows with life-nurturing traces. Glows prolonged thus might cradle civilizations through eons, a steadfast light for reflective ages. Fusion variants reflect inner alchemy, transforming base energies into sustained radiance, a personal fusion for enduring presence. Alchemy practices, visualizing core transformations, could fuel long-term aspirations with stellar steadiness. In calm expansion, the crack's whispers could align spin axes of nearby dwarf galaxies, creating synchronized rotations that stabilize their fragile forms, a gravitational chorus of unity. Axes aligned thus might foster shared magnetic fields, shielding against intergalactic tides. Forms stabilized could host persistent star formation, quiet hearths in the cosmic periphery. Spin alignment evokes purposeful direction, aligning personal axes with greater flows for stability, a chorus of self and world. Alignment meditations, syncing body spins to imagined axes, could ground intentions in cosmic harmony. The story flows with serenity, with the crack potentially seeding quantum dots in nebular dust. nanoscale beacons that luminesce under cosmic rays, marking paths for material coalescence. Dots might chain into luminous trails, guiding aggregation like firefly processions. Coalescence guided, thus, could form efficient planetesimals, building blocks assembled with luminous precision. Quantum dots suggest pinpoint illuminations, small lights marking big paths, much like insights guiding life. Dot visualization exercises could highlight key moments, chaining them into trails of progress. As layers settle, the crack could foster bioelectric fields in primitive soups, early currents that organize chemical dances into protocells, an electric prelude to life's symphony. Fields might pulse with geochemical rhythms, syncing reactions in harmonious waves. Cells proto-formed thus might emerge with innate conductivity, wired for collective signaling from the start. Bioelectric prelude mirrors neural sparks, early currents birthing thought, a symphony from silence. Spark cultivating practices like biofeedback on heart fields could awaken inner symphonies, conducting personal evolution. In philosophical hush, this prelude affirms emergence from quiet, life's electric whisper from soup to society, inviting trust in small currents leading to grand flows. Prelude reflections could trace personal emergences, celebrating the quiet origins of becoming. The narrative envelops like a soft nebula, envisioning the crack's influence creating resonant harmonics in planetary rings, vibrations that sculpt particle sizes into uniform grains, an acoustic artistry of form. Harmonics might resonate with orbital tunes, maintaining ring integrity through musical balance. Forms sculpted thus could reflect light in prismatic splendor, celestial jewelry adorning the skies. Resonant harmonics evoke life's tunes, vibrations shaping form through balance, an artistry of attunement. Harmonic listening, tuning to body's subtle tones, could sculpt inner forms with musical grace. Further deepening, the crack might induce paramagnetic responses in interstellar grains, allowing them to align with galactic fields, streamlining flows for efficient cloud collapse. Responses could create polarized emissions, mapping field lines like cosmic compass needles. Collapse streamlined thus might birth stars with inherent magnetic poise, poised for stable systems. Paramagnetic alignment suggests responsive orientation, grains turning to fields as we to opportunities, streamlining paths. Orientation practices, aligning intentions to inner fields, could streamline personal collapses into stellar births. As we breathe into the infinite, the crack could seed holographic imprints in cosmic background radiation, faint patterns that encode multiverse echoes, a projected memory of alternate beginnings. Imprints might reveal themselves in statistical anomalies, subtle deviations whispering of other bangs. Beginnings encoded thus could guide theoretical models toward unified truths, a holographic wisdom from the glow. Holographic imprints evoke memory's projections, pasts encoded in present light, guiding futures. Imprint meditations, projecting personal memories onto inner screens, could unify timelines in wise reflection. The tale whispers closure and openness, with the crack's gentle legacy lingering as a reminder that every end is a soft beginning, infinity's unfolding in eternal, serene conversation. As thoughts soften, let this legacy cradle you, the cosmos's lullaby carrying you into peaceful repose. As we near the end of our journey, feel the weight of these wonders settling softly, like stardust on your eyelids. The crack in space-time isn't an end, but a beginning, whispering that the universe, like sleep, holds endless gentle surprises. Let this knowledge drift with you into rest, a companion in the night, carrying the quiet assurance that the cosmos, in all its depth, cradles curiosity as tenderly as it does creation. To extend this cradle, imagine the crack's final gift, a diffuse glow that permeates the Virgo cluster, a lingering luminescence that bathes galaxies in subtle warmth, fostering a regional renaissance of light and life. Glow might arise from stabilized exotic decays, particles releasing energy in slow, even cascades, a perpetual dawn for shadowed realms. Renaissance thus could see dormant stars reignite, their births a chorus of renewal echoing the crack's inaugural whisper. Life in this bathed expanse might evolve photosyntheses attuned to the glow's spectrum, harvesting its gentle rays for verdant expansions, ecosystems blooming in the cluster's heart like flowers turning to a new sun. This glow's warmth evokes hearth fires, cosmic hearths warming the infinite, much like shared stories warming the soul. Hearth meditations, visualizing personal glows extending to others, could kindle communal warmth, a legacy of light in daily drifts. In ultimate serenity, the crack integrates fully, its fissure mending into a seamless weave, yet leaving traces of its passage in enriched fabrics, a healed scar stronger for the journey. Integration might manifest as unified field harmonies, where dimensions blend without seam, realities flowing as one. Traces lingering could inspire eternal wonder, a cosmic tattoo of possibility etched in the stars. Healed scars suggest resilience, wounds becoming strengths, integrations forging deeper wholes. Scar-honoring reflections could celebrate past pains as sources of power, mending personal fabrics with graceful acceptance. Thank you for drifting with me through the dreams of gravity. As your thoughts soften into rest, I wish you a peaceful night, filled with pleasant dreams among the stars. Sleep well, and let the cosmos cradle you until dawn.